All right, so yeah, welcome to Safeforge Community Call. Can you guys hear me? All right, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, so today's talk is going to be about how people get scammed in crypto and how to avoid them. And then we're going to follow up with some community updates to see how things are going. So, yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm having some. It's not moving. Go to the next one. All right, yeah, so crypto is a very, very exciting asset class, yeah? But it's also one that's full of scams. And, you know, with any new technology, there's a huge amount of excitement around this space. There's a lot of potential to make a lot of money in this space, but it's a lot less controlled. It's very important to remember that it's a lot less controlled than other asset classes. A lot of the security responsibility for cryptocurrencies need to be borne by the user. And so today we're going to talk about sort of types of scams that are out there, how we can avoid them, and yeah, like what to look out for basically. So I guess the first question that we want to ask is what sort of crypto scams are there? And so I think have sort of like dug around, sort of looked at the different scams out there, found that I think there's basically 5 main sort of ideas where there might be scams, right? So there's sort of investment scams, there's rug pulls, there's phishing scams, there's fake crypto exchanges, which are similar enough to phishing scams. And then there are bank runs and collapses, which you might say is not a scam, but it ends with you losing your money. So, you know, I think it's basically a scam, yeah? We can basically think of it as bad as a scam. So cryptocurrency has an inbuilt security system. So in some senses, so a lot of people think that crypto is super insecure. They think that it's this place where you can make and lose money really quickly. It's where people can get their money stolen. Yeah. And I think that's you know, that's true in many senses, in the sense that you know, there are scams out there. But the thing to remember is that crypto has an inbuilt security system itself. So the coins on chain are linked to a wallet address, and they can only be controlled by providing a private key. And so the key thing, no pun intended, is that if you control your key, you control access to your cryptocurrencies. So how could we get scammed? You know, if you own your keys, if you control your keys, then you can control assets, your cryptocurrencies. If that is true, how could we possibly get scammed? And okay, so I think the first and easiest way that you get scammed is through phishing. So phishing scams are a major problem in crypto. Basically, the idea is that someone gets access to your wallet, someone gets access to your keys. There's a variety of different ways that you could be phished. But the term itself comes from this idea that someone has come and sort of like phished you, basically. They come and sort of hooked you with something, and then they've taken your personal details. So it can be anywhere from installing a bad extension that steals your keys, down to, and I think the most common type is where they just have a pure scam website where they will just steal your crypto rather than do what they advertise. So it's a website, and sometimes they look extremely legitimate. That's why in crypto, it's extremely important to check the URL, make sure that you're going to the correct URL, because once you connect to them, once you give them access to your wallet, your cryptocurrencies might never come back. It's going to be very difficult for you to get your money back. Yeah, so phishing scams, very dangerous, very, very important to make sure that you keep control of cryptocurrencies. Investment scams, so sometimes they don't even ask you, they don't need to get access to your keys, they just ask you to send money from your wallet to their wallet. So once it leaves your wallet, you can't really control what happens. And you know, they might promise you the world, they might promise you the universe, but once they get you to send money to their wallet, once it's in their wallet, it's their crypto. And so you should only send money to people who you really trust, or when there's a reason, right? Maybe you're paying them for something, right? So, and unlike in banking, so in banking, when someone steals money, it can be a long and arduous process to get it back. In crypto, that's basically impossible. You're never going to get your money back. When you send your money away, you're never going to get it back. So it's really, really bad. Rug pulls. So I think rug pulls are a really, really interesting sort of space. They're a really interesting place where, really interesting type of scam. So a rug pull happens when you are legitimately buying a token, which is legitimately sent to your wallet, yeah? So it's not a phishing scam where they've gotten control of your keys and stolen your money or anything like that, but you still end up scammed. And so how does that work exactly? So the thing here is that cryptocurrency valuation and value is very speculative. So most cryptocurrencies are extremely speculative. And so a rug pull occurs when a project builds a lot of hype, pumps the price of the token, their NFT, very, very high, and then they disappear, leaving a lot of unfulfilled promises. And very often, this disappearance is accompanied with a big sell-off of tokens. I think a lot of people have sort of gone through this, and it's a painful sort of situation, yeah. But basically, you need to trust the projects that you're investing in. You want to invest in reputable projects. You want to invest in projects that have a good track record, and you want to invest in projects that ultimately won't run away. Yeah. So investing in early stage or new NFT or token or DeFi protocols can be very, very dangerous. And yeah, I think you have to be very careful, right? So you shouldn't put a lot of your money into, I think, into smaller projects. Bank runs and exchange collapses. So this is kind of a gray area. So this is not, very often these are not explicitly illegal, but I think the big example of this, and they did do illegal stuff, right? FTX is a fraudulent company. Sam Bankman-Fried committed fraud. He's allegedly committed fraud, but I think everyone knows that he's committed fraud at this point. FTX shows that we can lose our crypto even in regulated, audited not in a smart contract sense, but in a TradFi sense, companies. So in particular, what happened with FTX, they used the fact that they had access to their customers' crypto to borrow large sums of money, which they then lost in the bear market. And I think the real thing that you can do to fight against this, so really two things you can do about sort of these bank runs, right? So one is that you just don't hold your money in a centralized exchange. The whole idea of cryptocurrency is that it is decentralized. Holding it in a wallet is a little bit scary because if you lose your keys, you can never recover it. But I think recently they're coming up with new ways. They're developing new wallets that I think Vitalik recently is talking about smart contract wallets, which are run by code basically. So you eliminate the need for just those standard pure wallets, your smart contract wallets, and in smart contract wallets you can code sort of capabilities, including the ability to recover funds from other wallets. So you can go the decentralized way. If you're going to keep your money in a centralized exchange, you want to look for proof of reserve. But honestly speaking, I think proof of reserve is just a piece of paper, right? It's not as verified as just holding it in your own wallets with your own keys, I would say. And yeah, so how do you secure your crypto from scams? Yeah. So I think quick checklist. Yeah. So you want to invest your money into projects that you trust, interact only with audited smart contracts, ask for proof of reserve from your exchange. So, better yet, store your crypto in your own wallet, right? And if you have particularly large sums, use a cold wallet, even more secure, and be careful about putting your money into projects that are still mostly hype-based. And that's our sort of presentation for today. Are there any questions, guys? No questions? Sorry, I think my
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
how's it going?
I'm good. Okay. Talking about how to secure your crypto from scam. I want to take point 3, asking for proof of reserve from an exchange.
Yeah.
If an exchange is presenting maybe like you said is a paper document or maybe email to you or something, how do you verify that this is actually true? Because paper document can be formulated or maybe doctored. So how do you verify this?
Yeah, so I think like proof of reserve is always going to be a little bit difficult, right? Because there is a break in the blockchain. So like fundamentally centralized exchanges are off-chain exchanges, right? Like they are buying crypto for you in an off-chain setting, and then they're buying the crypto on-chain, and then they're storing the crypto for you on-chain, but all the records are off-chain. Yeah, so you're not, it's not your wallet holding it. Yeah, it's their wallet. So when you look at these proof of reserves or these sort of like announced proof of reserves, right? So it comes down to an accounting exercise. So everything that's on-chain can be verified. And I think that's what Binance did. Binance released sort of details about their wallets, and then you can verify how much Bitcoin they hold, how much Ethereum they hold. You can verify sort of all of those things. But then as to sort of like how big their customer deposits are, you have to kind of take their word for it. Because you don't know, right? Like if someone's depositing fiat, buying crypto, like the people who have the records are going to be the exchanges. It's not on chain. Yeah, so I think that there is an incompleteness of information there that makes it sort of undesirable. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. I can definitely see a situation where you have an exchange that collapses even though they've shown proof of reserve. But yeah, that's a good question. Oh, sorry, that's not the right one.
Yeah, I just sort of sharing like a personal story of mine, embarrassing, but yeah, it happened to me that I got scammed through Telegram. So yeah, you know, when you like trying to scout out projects, you join their Twitter, you join the Telegram and get updated and stuff. Yes. And there's a lot of scammers within the Telegram groups that add you or add a bunch of people and sort of buy domains that are very similar to the project domain, rip their site out and sort of tell you, look, we're airdropping now. You have like 3 hours to make your purchases. They make it look so legit. Yeah. So they make it look so legit. The website, the landing page was really legit and stuff. And so yeah, I got scammed like I think 0.2 ETH back then for trying to join like an airdrop. Yeah,
that's not that bad. I was talking to a mate earlier. He said he got scammed $65,000.
Holy shit!
From some sort of like basically like someone who's impersonating a DEX, which is like fake. Like it's a huge amount of money, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think like the scammers are really getting more creative and more legit the way they do it. Even LinkedIn, there's a lot of people impersonating like authorities or like exchange, someone high ranking in exchanges to sort of like scam you in any way they could. So but yeah, as an investor, you really need to be really cautious about all these things. I think it all comes back to like if it's really too good to be true, you better be careful about it. Yeah, just share. Yeah.
Yeah, that's man, like yeah, that sucks. That's tough. Yeah, let's roll on to the update side of our town hall. Yeah.